A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke chapter 1 verses 46 to 56. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. And Mary said, I am bursting with God news. I am dancing the song of my Savior God. God took one good look at me, and look what happened. I am the most fortunate woman on earth. What God has done for me will never be forgotten. The God whose very name is holy, set apart from all others. His mercy flows wave after wave on those who are in awe before Him. He bared His arm and showed His strength, scattered the bluffing braggarts. He knocked tyrants off their high horses, pulled victims out of the mud. The starving poor sat down to a banquet. The carless rich were left out in the cold. He embraced His chosen child Israel. He remembered and piled on the mercies, piled them high. It's exactly what He promised, beginning with Abraham and right up to now. Mary stayed with Elizabeth for 3 months and then went back to her own home. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflections on the Gospel according to Luke chapter 1 verses 46 to 56. The Almighty has done great things for me, sang Blessed Mother during her visitation to Elizabeth. People who have placed their trust in God, especially those who have no one else in the world to lean on, have often identified with this song of this poor, young, unmarried, pregnant woman. Mary sang her hymn of gratitude and joy not at a time when she was in the comforts and securities of her family, but when she was most uncertain of her future. Her proposed marriage was at stake and was facing the ignominy of being pregnant out of wedlock. What else was required to cause a nervous breakdown for a teenager? What the Blessed Mother exhibits in the Magnificat is her stupendous reliance on God's mighty providence. Mary's Magnificat is more than a hymn of thanksgiving. For us, it serves as a creed that reiterates our faith in the divine plan. The Church's liturgy of hours included the Magnificat in its daily prayer as a constant reminder to reassure ourselves of God's concern and love for His lowly servant. All what it requires is the humility to surrender before the plan of God, to witness the great things the Almighty does in our lives. The Song of Mary narrates the mighty works of God one after another and rejoices over them. We read, He has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones. We continue to sing these words aloud, for this is our life testimony. It is also true that at a time of illnesses, when you realize that you are thrown out of your job, you have no ways to pay your rentals, you fall out of a relationship, how easily do we succumb to fear and frustration? Like the disciples in the middle of the sea, caught in the storm, we cry and we panic over the impending disasters. But the voice of Jesus consoles us. Courage, it is I, do not be afraid. Let not our human weakness pull us back to despair. For notwithstanding the pains of this life, we know the Lord is with us, Emmanuel. And it is our turn to sing with Mary our Magnificat.